Hi everyone, today I want to film a more of a relaxing kind of videos where I would just do chores around the house and talk to you about various topics. I guess it would be more like a rant than an organized conversation. And honestly, I think that less than 20 people are going to watch this video, so I'm gonna just talk whatever comes to my mind. Okay, so I guess let's get started doing our chores, my chores. Okay, let's go. I guess let's get started with my wardrobe first. I have so much clothes and they are so unorganized. They are sticking out of the drawer and I can't really close it. Let's fold some clothes. Here are all of my clothes just in the drawers. We don't even count the inside where I still have my clothes hanging. I have been wanting to film something like this for a while, but I know it's not something that searchable or like evergreen content or like something that would help your channel blow up. But I guess I have like 3 subscribers, so sometimes I don't really have to care that much and just film what I feel like I want to. I don't think I've been doing YouTube long enough to say that, oh, I've put all in, I've gone all in, and nothing comes out of it. However, it's been like over 6 months now. I guess that my feelings are quite neutral. Like, I like doing YouTube, but the thought of never or not gonna be able to succeed on YouTube anytime soon is quite disheartening for me. Before going in YouTube, I've read and watched a lot of YouTube about people who have just started. And I know that most of us probably have survivorship bias where we only see the successful people and we don't see that those successful people are just the tip of the iceberg and the rest of us, small creators, are like under the sea. Nobody's ever gonna see her. Maybe a few will see our videos, like 20 people are going to see our video. And maybe if we keep going long enough, things will change in some ways. I've read a lot of stories, both successful stories and unsuccessful stories. There are people who have been on the platform for years, 10 years, 11 years. They are still waiting for their moment to blow up, to be more successful than they are right now. And I really, really admire their persistence. I personally don't know if I'm gonna be able to do something for that long without the financial gain. I'm not saying that 100% of us are in it for the money. A lot of people, even when they don't have a lot of money, they don't care that much. They really just love videography, expressing themselves or connecting with the community that they've spent a lot of time building. But for people like me, and probably I think a lot of you too, we are just trying to make ends meet. And also we have 24 hours per day. We don't have more time than any other human on the planet. We have to make the most out of our precious 24 hours. Just like you and I, the majority of people who are struggling out there will either spend their time at school to later get a good job or working to earn a paycheck. Therefore, the thought of spending over a decade on something that might not be able to help you in your financial struggle is very, very daunting. Because of those doubts and fears, I sometimes just try to comfort myself by reading other people's stories and watching their videos, I was just trying to reassure myself of the outcome that I want. They are not always healthy for my mental health, nor they are reassuring in any way. I just keep reading them. I guess I'm addicted. I'm the problem. And honestly, I just feel so jealous. So jealous. Some people, it takes them just, I don't know, less than 10 videos to blow up. Even the first video, they blow up. They get 100k subscribers just after, I don't know, maybe less than 50 videos. I'm really, really jealous of their success. I have to admit that. I know that jealousy is not a good trait, and I think it's probably very harmful if you feel jealous of other people constantly or to an extreme level. However, jealousy is a normal trait. During our lifetime, there will be times when we feel jealous of people around us or people on the internet, strangers that we simply do not know. I think that many of us experience the same feeling. Like I said, I am quite jealous of people who achieve success on YouTube quickly, or that it seems so easy for them to do that. Because it's certainly not for me and probably not for you too. I know there are a lot of different factors that contribute to your success on YouTube. You know, like your effort, your appearance, your personality, your ability, your skill sets, like a lot of things. And obviously, your luck and the algorithm, it's not just you, like we can't just put every responsibility on ourselves. We have to admit that the environment, the platform itself, does play a major role in this. But I guess that's where we sometimes or a lot of time feel like failures, because besides the part of the algorithm that we cannot do anything about, it seems like other things are mostly because we have not done enough. We don't look good enough. Our personality are not charismatic enough, or we are not able enough. That's why people don't want to watch our content. It's lots of things that are your own responsibilities. And when you equate the success of your channel with you yourself, your innate abilities and everything, obviously you would feel like you are not a success. And I'm not saying all of these things to discourage myself or anyone, because I think that most of these things can be improved with enough time and effort. If you don't know how to write good script, you can learn and practice. If you're not good at videography yet, obviously you can, I don't know, take a course, practice, all sort of things that can be improved with enough effort and time. But still, it sometimes just feel quite overwhelmed. I don't know if any of you have the same feeling when you know that it's your responsibility and that you can improve, you can do something about it, but still it feels overwhelmed. And I'm not saying all of these things to complaints. No, I guess I just want to express my feelings. So if anyone is feeling the same, they can relate to it and maybe feel like, hey, I'm not the only one who feel that way, or like someone else out there also feel the same. Or even if they know that there are a lot of people that feel the same, then maybe hearing one more person saying that, hey, I understand it, I can relate to it, it makes them feel like less alone in this. But I have been thinking enough negative thoughts to the point that I learned how to deal with them. Like, I just have a video on how to deal with anxious what if thoughts. I will leave the link somewhere if you are interested. So I've been dealing with these kind of thoughts long enough to learn how to deal with them. So whenever I have one of those upset or like down moment where I doubt myself, where I fret about the future, one of the things that I do quite often and a lot is that I choose to hold on to my belief that things will work out, that somehow I will make it. And honestly, I don't know how I can sustain that belief for so long because the reality proves otherwise. You believe in something even when every other external factors say otherwise. You choose to believe it. And I think choosing to believe is really the core of everything. It's true that if you believe that you can, then you can. If you believe that you can't, it's also true. So if I don't believe in the things that I am doing right now, they are probably never gonna work out. I feel like choosing to believe is the only thing that I can control. I can't control the environment. I can't control if people want to see me or even like me. I can't control if my content blows up or not. I think the only thing that makes me feel like I'm in control somehow is the fact that I can choose to believe, even if the belief never materialize or never comes true, which I don't know yet, but I can choose to believe. And I know that sometimes I talk a lot about letting go and accept that things will work out the way they are meant to. But feeling like I have some degree of control over what I do and over my future is something that keep me going, because only when I know I can affect the outcome that I will keep going. So if you are having the same experience that I do, I hope you can hold on to your belief and just keep going, because that's the only way we can affect the outcome, or at least move it to the direction that we want. And holding on to your belief is not necessarily just about YouTube. It is about anything. A job, hobby, your major in university. I guess whatever we want to achieve, the belief part and the keep going part play the most important roles. Keep going. Or a lot of people say, don't take no for an answer. I guess they want to motivate you to think outside the box, to find other venues when something doesn't work out, in this sense of pursuing your goals. However, it's a terrible advice when it comes to dating. We're not talking about dating, but I would just throw it out there. Like, don't ever in any circumstances, apply that don't take no for an answer advice in a romantic setting. Is a terrible advice for dating. Whether you are a man or a woman, if your crush or the one you are interested in say no to you, just accept it with grace, back off respectfully, and move on. I don't know if anyone ever thinks that being stubborn and persistent in this case is a good idea, but I'm just telling you that it's really not. The fact that you reject to accept their no in their eyes doesn't mean that you are a persistent, a patient person. I don't think they will perceive you that way. When you don't take their no seriously, in their eyes, it feels like you don't respect their decision of refusing you. And I know that a lot of it, maybe when we were younger, we were not mature enough. So we just couldn't take a no. We might make a fuss out of it. But as we grow up and mature, you will realize that take no for an answer is the best thing you can do when it comes to romance. It makes the other person feels like you respect their decision. You believe they are an adult who is capable of making an informed decision, or even not an informed decision, but it's their decision, and you respect their decision. I think that everybody will always think more fondly of you when you just respectfully back off after they say no and move on. When someone is not interested in you, there's nothing you can do to make them to, unless you have magic or some sort of love potion. I don't say that it's impossible, 100% impossible. I'm just saying that it's easier and better for both parties. They feel respected, and you will find someone who cherish you, who you cherish. And that, my dear, is, I would argue, a happier ending than your one-sided, unrequited love. Although maybe you just like dwelling on the one-sided love that you created in your mind, the fantasy world. A lot of people like their fantasy world, and it's not a problem living in the fantasy world. However, it will become a problem if it affects other people's lives. It's fine if it's just your own. Just don't go around and harass or like harm other people because of your fantasy. Don't do that. Maybe let's just move on to another topic. Let's talk about social media addiction. I'm one of those people who are, to a certain extent, glued to their phone. So I spend a lot of my time on my phone. Like my screen time on average sometimes can go up to 10 hours per day. I do realize that is a problem. So I do take initiative to remedy myself, to cure myself of my addiction. For the last month, I've downloaded this app called Screen Zen. It's an app that blocks other apps. The way it works is that you can choose which apps you want to block and how many times you allow yourself to access these apps per day and for how long each time. For example, I chose to block Facebook and Instagram, and I allow myself each app 10 times per day and maybe 15 minutes per time. It might still sound like a lot of time, like, hey, you still allow yourself to use Facebook or Instagram up to 150 minutes per day or potentially more. But the thing is, since I started using this app, I've never used up my quota. I've never opened those apps up to 10 times per day, because every time I open the app, the screen, the Zen will pop up and remind me that, hey, is this really important? And you have opened this app like X numbers of time today. A lot of the times when I see that remind screen, I just think to myself, yeah, true, this is not really that important. So I would just exit the app. It doesn't really limit you. It kind of like reminds you to snap out of it. And for me, it works really well. There is a limit there, but I don't feel like I'm forced upon those limits. And also, a wonderful thing is that the app is completely free, and they just ask you to tell your friends, hey, this is not sponsored or anything. I am just using the app, and I think that it's great for people who are struggling with, the addiction like I am. I know that social media addiction might affect a lot of you negatively, but for me, sometimes I am well aware of the fact that I have spent hours on the platform, and I should stop. But honestly, I really don't feel bad about it. I don't feel like, oh my god, I'm such a failure, I'm so unmotivated or anything. Actually, I learned a lot of things from watching other people's videos, like, how to put together an outfit. And when I see someone who is so beautiful, my thought usually 90% of the time would be, how could someone be that beautiful, Although I feel jealous of other people's success, I don't tend to feel jealous of other people's appearance. I guess, each of us just feel jealous of a different thing. And if it is a beautiful man, a handsome man, that's good. We all like a little bit of beauty in our life, I guess. Yeah, so, funny content, a few new tips. I kind of just like it a lot. I like spending time on it. Maybe someone would say that it's the symptom of addiction, but I just thought about a quote that says, time you enjoy wasting is not wasted. So at times like that, I kind of just let myself be more free when it comes to consuming content. Obviously, we should be aware of how much we are consuming and not letting ourselves go overboard or something. I guess that concludes my rant for today. See ya.